Grand Rising, wherever you are in the world, if you're watching the replay of this. But good afternoon from where I'm at right now. Welcome to the Earthy Girl Experience. It's your girl Licia here, back with another love reading. And today we are going to be doing a reading on for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placement. So, of course, if you're watching this, then you already know who we're talking about because I just said it. So, nevertheless, we were at the tail end of the planetary sun hour, so I wanted to utilize the energy of that, plus with today being Sunday, to tap into that Leo energy. Okay, so double the help. All right, with the intention today to do a reading for you guys. All right. So shout out to the Leos if you're here. If you are Leo and you have any of these placements, make sure to put that Leo symbol in the comments section. Let me know that you were here or are here. And if you're watching the replay and you're a cross watcher, put replay in the comments, okay? So that I know that you stepped in and paid a little visit here, okay, on this reading. And of course, let me know where you're chiming in from, okay? I'd love to know where you guys are chiming in from in the comments, okay? So, we're not going to waste too much time. We're just going to get right into it because, like I say in all of my videos, most of the time when people come to a reading video, they don't want to hear someone babble for too long. They just want to get right to the deeds, okay? So that's what we're going to do. But before we do that, I just want to take a moment to give honor to the Most High God and thank the Most High God for allowing me to be present with you all, my fellow Leos, today on this beautiful Sunday and allowing me to do this reading for you guys. And I just ask the Most High God to, just surround me, with a protection of white light as I deliver this message and allow me to deliver the message that you would like for me to deliver to my fellow Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements. All right? Ashe. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to shuffle these cards just a little bit more. One more time before we see what Spirit has for you guys today on this beautiful Sunday. All right, let's get to it. All right, so first card out of the deck is the Passion card. It says, allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. So, sounds like a lot of you Leos out there may have a lot of passion going on in your relationship. But of course, we're going to see how this plays out. And also remember that this is a general love reading. So, not every reading is going to be exact for every Leo placement, okay? Because there are millions of you out there with Leo placements, either Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, okay? And everyone is on a different timeline. And so, oh, thank you. Thank you. And so, everyone is on a different timeline. So it's up to you to let me know where you fall in that timeline. Okay. All right. So, yeah. So let's see here. So like I said, a lot of you have some passion going on in your lives. But for some of you, there needs to be a heart-to-heart conversation that you need to have, Leos. It says, honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Okay? So although there may be some passion in your relationship, there is a need for a heart-to-heart conversation, Leo. Okay? With someone. All right, or your partner wants to have or needs to have a heart-to-heart conversation with you. All right, yeah. The Trust card came out for you, Leo. It says the situation is calling for you to have faith. All right, so even though there needs to be a heart-to-heart conversation, Leo, Spirit wants you to have some faith, okay, in this relationship, or some faith in the conversation that you need to have. I guess it depends on the type of conversation that you need to have with your partner. Okay? Yeah. Now, the Love Yourself First card came out for you, Leo. So it says, your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So, a lot of you need to love yourself first. This has been coming out for a lot of people lately. I feel like a lot of people haven't been pouring into themselves as much as they need to, not giving themselves a lot of self-love. Okay. That seems to be a message for quite a few signs, zodiac signs. Not everyone, but quite a few. So I'm going to tell you the same thing that I've told the other signs that this card came out for is, in order for you to, manifest your partner or the person that you want, you got to pour into yourself first, okay? Because who's going to love you better than yourself, right? And Leos should be good at that. Leos should be very good at loving themselves first, okay? I was married to a Leo for 20 years, so I very, very familiar with Leo energy. So Leos are the top individuals for loving themselves first, okay? But if there's some of you Leos out there that your light's been dimmed down for whatever reason, then you need to pour back into yourself, Leo. All right? Yeah. Some of you need to work on healing some family issues, Leo. Okay, it says your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. All right, so maybe that's tied to that heart-to-heart conversation that you need to have with your significant other, as it relates to, maybe some issues or some things that have come up in the relationship, and that could be tied to your family issues, or maybe we've got parents that are interfering in the relationship as well, which is very common, especially if you're married and you've got, in-laws. If you're a cross watcher, there could be some issues with in-laws, right? Or your actual parents. All right. Keep an open mind is the card that came out for you as well. Okay, so it says your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. All right, so for some of you, when it comes to having a heart-to-heart conversation, either with your partner or your parents, there could be some of you that could be dating someone who's not your typical type of person that you would normally date. Okay, and that may be requiring you to have a heart-to-heart conversation with your parents. Okay, about the person that you're dating. All right. I'm also picking up that, with the family issues here, that could be interfering with your relationship with that person who's not the typical type of person that you would normally date, right? That could be, those parents could be causing some issues, right, in your relationship. And that's why that trust card came out for you, Leo, reminding you to have faith in your relationship. Okay, that you guys can work through whatever the issues are. But again, there needs to be a heart-to-heart conversation that needs to be had, whether it's with your parents, with your significant other, or both. Okay, or both. But whatever the issue is, obviously there is a lot of passion between you guys. There is a lot of passion there, I see. Yeah. And part of that loving yourself first, Leo, is putting yourself first, right? Even though parents may have their opinions about who you should be with or who you should be dating, at the end of the day, it's your life. You're the one that has to, be with them, lay with them at night, sleep next to them at night, not your parents. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. So I feel like for some of you, this may be tied to religious factors. Okay. Maybe you're dating someone is not from the same background as you, Leo. And so that could be why you're having some issues, parental issues, coming up, whether it's, like I said, from your parents or from your partner's parents. Okay, that religious factors card says your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. All right, maybe for some of you, you may be changing religions, right? Maybe you may be changing religions from the religion that you were brought up in, right? Sometimes when people get married, or even when they start to involve themselves with someone, right? They may decide that, hey, I want to convert to, my partner's religion, right? And that could be stirring up some issues for you in your relationship, Leo. Like I said, whether that is you or your partner. Yeah. For some of you, it could just be you, deviating to a religion, and maybe not necessarily influenced by your partner, right? You may be deciding to switch religions or switch spiritual paths, right? That may require you to have a heart-to-heart conversation with your partner. All right. Yeah. So this card, pay attention to the red flags, came out for you, Leo. It says the signs are cautioning you. All right. So for some of you, you know, you've been getting those red flags and they've been showing up for you for quite some time. For quite some time. So Spirit wants you to make sure you're paying attention to that. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. But keep an open mind. Keep an open mind, Leo. Aw. Yeah. So for some of you, the person that you're involved with is your true love, Leo. They're your true love. Okay, so regardless if there is some, you know, differences in opinions or viewpoints as it relates to religious factors, whether it be you and your partner having those differences and requiring a heart-to-heart conversation with each other, or whether it be you needing to address some parental issues as it relates to your religious choices, that's connected to your partner. At the end of the day, Spirit just wants you to know that, you know, the person that you are involved with, that, you know, the situation involves with, is your true love, Leo. They are your true love, which explains why there is a lot of passion there for you guys. All right? Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Spirit wants you to give this relationship a chance, okay? So even if there might be some differences coming up for you guys as it relates to cultural backgrounds and religions and spiritual paths, you know, Spirit wants you to give the relationship a chance. And that's why this card came up. It says, work on your partnership, okay? Work on your partnership with your true love, okay? Put yourself first. Put yourself first in this situation, okay? Put yourself first, Leo, and trust and have faith, okay? That you guys can work through whatever, you know, whatever hiccups that are coming up for you guys as it relates to religious factors in your relationship, okay? Yeah. Yeah. And I find that interesting that this is coming up on today, right? For you guys on a Sunday, which is when most people typically, you know, practice their religious beliefs, you know, whether they're going to church or what have you. Okay. Yeah. Yes, you're right. Jesus is the best and God is the best and the angels as well. Absolutely. By the way, just so you know, I welcome all religious paths here on the Earthy Girl Experience, okay? I grew up around different religions my whole life. So I respect everyone's, you know, religious choices, okay? Whatever denomination you subscribe to, whether it's a religion or a spiritual path, okay? I respect everybody's choices here on the Earthy Girl Experience, all right? Yeah. So this card came out for you that says, it is safe for you to love. It says, open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all, okay? Yeah. So I think for, you know, some of you here, you know, Leo being dominated by the heart, right? When it comes to the body parts in each zodiac sign, I think for some of you, you know, you may be a little closed off a little bit, but Spirit wants you to know that it's safe for you to love this individual, okay? Or it's safe for you to love again for those of you who are single Leos, okay? Because we definitely want to make sure we don't forget the single Leos out there. So for those of you who are looking for love, then just know that, you know, your true love is on the horizon. Again, if you're trying to manifest that, all right? But again, you got to get yourself on the right frequency to manifest that individual if you are a single Leo looking for love, okay? And the best way to do that, as I say in all of my readings, is to start with self-love, okay? Love yourself like you would want someone to love you, okay? Buy yourself some flowers. Take yourself out on a date. Take yourself to a concert, okay? Those type of things, okay? Spoil yourself. And like I said, Leos definitely don't have a hard time doing that, okay? But for those of you that have been struggling with that, who are a Leo, you need to get back into that, okay? So you can manifest that true love that you are desiring to have, okay? Someone that you are going to have a lot of passion with, Leo. All right? Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. This getting to know each other card came out. So for some of you, this is a new relationship, okay? This is a new relationship. It says, as you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens, okay? So for some of you Leos, this is a new relationship for you. Again, someone who is, not from the same maybe background or culture background as you. And so you guys are, still kind of getting to know each other, still in that, new phase of the relationship, but there is a lot of passion there for you, Leo, okay? For those of you who are new into this relationship, okay? And again, like I said, if there is, some religious factors there for you guys and you guys come from a different background, then definitely keep an open mind, okay? And have faith, like Spirit said, okay, in this relationship. You guys can work through that. All right, people blend spiritual backgrounds and religions all the time. Okay, it's just a matter of compromising. Yeah, yeah. For some of you Leos, though, there is some forgiving and some learning that you guys need to do, okay, before you can move forward in this relationship, right? That goes back to the healing of the family issues, okay? So, a lot of times if we have issues with our parents, whether it's mommy issues, daddy issues, that can show up in a relationship. It can show up in a relationship and it can affect a relationship. It can affect how you operate in a relationship. Some of the things that you've experienced in the past. Maybe you experienced divorce in the past, right? That can impact how you operate and behave in a relationship with someone, okay? It says, as you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments, okay? So whatever it is, Leo, that you experienced in your childhood with your parents, you need to heal that, whether that is having a conversation with them, that heart-to-heart conversation card that I pulled out, or going to seek some actual freaking therapy, okay? Because sometimes that's what's actually needed, okay? Not just having a conversation with your parents about the issues or whatever they did that has impacted you in your adult life or your current life. Sometimes you just need to go and have some freaking therapy, okay? You need some therapy. And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? That's how you love yourself first as well, by seeking some freaking therapy, okay? Yeah. And especially if you are, a single Leo that is potentially open and looking for love again, okay? Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to pull one more card. Let's see what comes out here. Yeah. Like I said, the very soon card came out as well for some of you Leos. It says, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. Okay, so for you single Leos, I'm going back to you again. If you are a Leo that is looking for love, right? You need to love yourself, okay? First, okay? Your true love is coming soon, all right? But you need to work on, healing some of those past issues that involve your parents or your upbringing, your childhood, so that you can be able to love your partner correctly, okay? Yeah. I mean, it's safe for you to love again, definitely, but for those of you who haven't did the work, you need to go do the work first, okay? Yeah. Yeah. And if you have done the work, then great. Congratulations on that, okay? Spirit wants you to know that, your love, your true love that you're trying to manifest is on the way, okay, for you, okay? If you were looking for that validation, Leo. All right. Let's go to the Oracle deck. Whoa. Okay, Spirit, like, Seriously. Ugh. Let's do that again. That was a lot of cards. I mean, they just flew out and fell on the floor. We're just going to try that again, because if it's a card that's meant for you, Leo, it's going to come back out. It's happened a lot of times. If it's meant for you, it's going to come back out. Let's see what the Oracle deck has to say for you, Leo. All right. I hope you guys have had a relaxing day wherever you are, whatever time of the day it is that you're watching this. But for right now, with it being Sunday, if you're watching this on a Sunday, I hope you guys have had a great weekend and you are ready for the upcoming week. So the prosperity card came out for you guys, okay, with that number 1 on the top there. So the number 1 symbolizes, in numerology, symbolizes new beginnings for you guys, Leo. So for some of you that are in this new relationship, right, this is a new beginning for you, right, in this relationship when it comes to love. For some of you, you are in a state where you are kind of starting over, right, and there's a new beginning. But Spirit wants you to know that prosperity is on the way for you, okay, when it comes to love. Abundance is on the way for you, okay? But again, you have to do the work. You need to love yourself first, Leo, okay? Put more back into yourself so you can, you know, generate that abundance and that prosperity for you. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, look at that. Material harvest popped up for you guys. Yeah, so for some of you, you're literally manifesting material wealth. Okay? So Spirit wants to validate. So I feel like Spirit is moving me away from this love reading. And it's been happening a lot lately, which is kind of perfect timing, because the next couple of readings that I'm going to be doing are going to be more so readings in relation to career and money. Okay, so it's kind of interesting that this reading and my last reading, I've been slowly, energetically starting to move over to career and financial readings. So you guys just get a little bit of a early reading with that, it looks like. But I'll come back though and I'll do more of a just general reading when it comes to career and finances for you guys, okay? But for those of you who needed to hear that right now and couldn't wait till the next reading, Spirit was like, let me just go ahead and let them know right now. Let me just go ahead and give them that validation that they need, Leo, that your material harvest, that, you know, money, wealth, and things that you're trying to aim for is on the way, okay? It's on the way very soon. All right? And then with that material harvest there, that number 9 symbolizes completion, right? So you've done all the work, right? And so you're getting ready to collect, right? Whatever seed that you've planted, you're getting ready to harvest that, right? And get the abundance that comes with all of the hard work that you've been putting in, Leo, okay? For those of you who needed that validation with that, okay? Again, let me know if you fall in that timeline, Leo. If that part is for you. All right? Yeah. Yeah. For some of you, you've had a lot of patience throughout this process, okay? But for those of you who have not, who are impatient, this is your validation from Spirit that you need to be patient, okay? But for a lot of you, when it comes to, you know, the seed that's been planted, you've been very patient when it comes to your love life. You've been very patient. You've been very patient when it comes to whatever seed you've been planting. Leo, when it comes to you trying to obtain more money and more wealth. But again, you know, the harvest is coming. The harvest is coming. If it's not already here, it's on the way, okay? That can look like maybe getting another job, more money, whatever that may be. I know that my daughter is a Leo rising, and literally yesterday she went to work. She's a server, at a restaurant, and she went to work yesterday, and she came home so excited because she said this was the best day that she's had since she's been a server. And she's been a server at restaurants for, I'd say, about maybe 3 years. She's been serving at, different restaurants, and she said that yesterday was the most abundant day she's ever had in terms of tip money. Okay, just to give you an example. So, and she's a Leo rising. So, again, some of you may have already seen that abundance. And I know for her, there were many days that she came home and she was complaining that she didn't, get a lot of money in tips that day. And I would just always tell her, be patient, be patient, be patient. Okay, the day is going to come where you're going to have that one day where you're just going to have, make a lot of money. And yesterday was that day for her. Okay. So, just to give you guys a little bit of an example there. All right. Let me pull out another card for you guys. Yeah. So, the Choose Wisely card came out for you all. I feel like for some of you, you are kind of at a crossroads, Leo, when it comes to, your love life, and even your career for some of you. I feel like some of you are at a crossroads and you're trying to make a decision on what to do. This Choose Wisely card has the number 7 attached to it. 7 in numerology literally means like transformation and change. Okay. Perfect example I gave in another live. I actually have some videos on here, on my channel, where I talk about my 7-year journey. Okay. And with that 7 energy, a lot of times when you come out of that 7 energy, your life doesn't look the same. It looks totally different. I'll give you an example of that. Okay. So whenever I experienced one of my 7th personal years, I literally gave birth to my daughter, who's a Leo rising. Okay. The year prior to that, I had no children because she's my oldest child. I had no children. Went through my 7th year, gave birth to my daughter. By the time I entered into my 8th year, I was a whole mom. My life had completely changed. Okay, Leo. So when we're talking about that 7-year energy, that means a big change, okay, for you guys. And so some of you are at a crossroads right now. You're trying to decide what it is that you want to do when it comes to your career, okay? And now for some of you, as it relates to your relationship, there's a big change there as well, right? Because if you decide to pursue this relationship that you're in, right, the ones of you that had just entered a new relationship where you're getting to know each other, if you decide to, pursue it and, go there to be in a committed relationship, whether it's getting married, that can completely change your life, Leo. Okay. So for some of you, I feel like there's a major decision that needs to be made with your relationship. Those of you who are in a committed relationship. Okay. But there might be some religious factors there, going on, that you guys need to navigate through. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to pull one more card for you guys. But for those of you who are trying to make that decision when it comes to your career, you just need to have some patience with that. Okay. You need to have some patience. And I find it interesting that the patience card is the number 14. When you break that down, 4 plus 1 is 5. Okay. And numerology, 5 is, also in relation to choosing. It's a crossroad energy. Okay. It's a crossroads type of energy. Very adaptable it is, but it's a crossroads type energy where you need to make a decision left or right. But either way, you're going to be adaptable. Okay. Whatever choice that is that you make. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's pull one more oracle deck and then we're going to wrap this thing up for you guys. And again, let me know where you fall in the timeline, Leo. Okay. Where do you fall in the timeline with either of those situations? Whether you are the Leo in the relationship, the single Leo, or you're the Leo that was looking for validation when it comes to your finances and career and the decision that you need to make when it comes to that. All right. Yeah. All right. One more card here. Yeah. For some of you, this is literally a mental conflict that you're dealing with, especially for those of you who are needing to choose wisely and make a decision, right? For those of you that it is in relation to the finance, career, and things like that, some of you literally are staying up at night trying to figure out what to do. Okay? Literally. This is like kept you up at night. And for those of you that are in the relationship, right, that spirit is asking you to keep an open mind and to have some faith. I think a lot of you literally have been staying up at night trying to decide what to do about this relationship. Okay? But Spirit wants you to know again, let me remind you that this is your true love, Leo. Okay? Okay? So just keep an open mind about it. Keep an open mind and have that heart to heart conversation. Okay? Have that heart to heart conversation. Okay? All right? Yeah. Yeah. Have that heart to heart conversation. But I feel like with this mental conflict there, it has that number 2 energy there, right? So with that number 2 energy, first of all, in astrology, number 2 is represented by the second house, which is Taurus. Taurus is definitely dominated by material wealth. Okay, Tauruses are very much about their material items and their money. Okay, so I feel like with this mental conflict here, definitely a lot of you have been staying up at night trying to decide and make a decision on what you need to do when it comes to obtaining more wealth in your life, financially, career wise. Okay, but just know that a new beginning is coming for a lot of you here, and so you're gonna have a lot of prosperity there. Okay. All right. And then for the relationships with that number 2, again, we're leaning back on, you and another partner, right? 2 people in a relationship. So for some of you, like I said, you've been staying up. Mind is just going, 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 going when it comes to some of the issues that have been coming up in your relationship that could be tied to religious factors, that could be tied to someone's behavior as it relates to their childhood and upbringing and the connection that it has there to their parents. Okay? Yeah. So, if there hasn't been a heart-to-heart conversation, like a serious heart-to-heart conversation, then you need to have it, Leo. Some of you probably have already had that heart-to-heart conversation already. All right? Yeah. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to end it there, Leo. I think this was a really good reading. Let me know in the comments how you guys feel about it. Let me know where you fall in the timeline, Leo, as it relates to whatever situation you're in, right? Yeah, give me that feedback, okay? Until next time, guys, I love you for watching, and I'll see you again. Bye-bye now.